Hi all, welcome back to Fields of Fire. This is the Normandy campaign mission 3, St. George de Parc defensive. This is my part 10. So this is our second combat patrol. This time first platoon. We had done the first one with the second platoon. And I'll probably go on and do the third one. And I've got them marked there. It's maybe sort of in between. I've continued the parts going, but I've sort of numbered the platoon one in the title somewhere. Maybe I could have done a better job of that, so that if you've seen one, you don't want to maybe look at the other or whatever. But they're all going to do different things. It's not going to be the same. So, platoon. Well, after realising the mistake, the blunder that we sort of made in the first one, I could have went on and done a better job of that if I'd only read through the rule properly. If I'd just read it properly, everything would have been fine. Nothing new to talk about. I haven't watched back part 9 yet, but I feel like I was blundering my way through that first 10 minutes, trying to explain myself regarding the events table and that. Like I say, I haven't watched it back. That was without a drink as well, so maybe just as well though. But I'm clearly just not thinking in the right way that way, where I should be, and probably would get strange looks from people the way I'm thinking about it, which I can understand, to be honest. It's just kind of how I do things sometimes, and it kind of does dig a hole that's makes me look a bit daft at times. But anyway, I don't mind that. But yeah, as long as I come out at the other end and I know how to do it properly, as long as I'm not breaking rules because I'm silly, I want to make sure I'm getting the rules right. Anyway, right, there's nothing really to talk about. So I seem to recall we left ourselves last night with not in the best sort of situation, is it? I want to say we've got a potential contact here. This is an A and this is a B or a C, we don't know yet. This full squad, I want to say, went in there and didn't manage to infiltrate, so was exposed. And this squad managed to find cover. That's a sort of two-step squad, I want to say, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, that's not getting fired at. This is the one that's actually getting fired at the moment, but then there's a potential contact here and a potential contact here, so. But I felt like we had to do something, whether that was the right way to do it or not. Whether I should have took a bit more time and done it a bit more carefully, maybe. Right, so we're halfway through the turn. I've got my wee face marker there saying it is the enemy higher HQ event. I'm hoping to get a full part here, and I'd like to maybe try and stretch 2 parts, but although it's not as late as it was last night, when I'm starting here, I will need to get something to eat at some point, and I can't stay up that late, but I might be able to squeeze 2 parts, and we'll see. Certainly, if I was at this situation last night, like tonight, I would have wanted to carry on and finish it to see what happens. But last night it was ridiculously late by then. Right, enemy higher HQ event phase. Let's draw a card and see if we get anything. We do not. Now I'm showing our activity levels engaged, which I think is right. Yeah, we've got 2 occupied cards with VOFs on them. But not one has a friendly and an enemy, so which would take it to heavily engaged. So we are at engaged. So no higher HQ event. Enemy activity check segment, right? And we've got to remember we're tracking ammo for that guy. Yeah? He's the only enemy we have at the moment, wasn't he? So he must have spawned from this potential contactee up to there, right? That's right. Okay. So. Nothing to choose between. There's only the one enemy. So now, what's our? Let's double check our mission 3 enemy information. The tactics are deliberate. Hierarchy is defensive. Tactics are deliberate. And remember, the experience is veteran. So we don't want that one. We want that one. It's deliberate, and it's a squad. Okay, the squad. Well, it's under fire, isn't it? It is also. It's getting fired from a different direction as well. So we need to keep that one in mind. Okay, so here we go. On the defensive activity check. Hierarchy on the deliberate column. So what have we got? On same card as an opposing unit? No. A with the tripod? No. He's A rated, but he's not that. Not under fire. Well, he is under fire. So no. Under fire, but not under cover. Well, actually, he is. He's under fire. But he isn't under cover. So, yeah, that's what he's going to do. Where are we? Under fire, but not under cover. This one here, Grant, and we're on the deliberate column. So it's 3. It's just out of 3. To be honest, he's not going to do no action or fall back. You can see here. So he's either going to do move into your seat cover, which will be a seat cover, which is going to expose him. So, or he's going to, well, I hope he can't do a grenade attack anyway. He's going to concentrate fire, I think. Well, let's draw the card. So it's on a 3. So a 1 or a 2 is the seat cover, and then the 3 would be the what are we doing? Is it a 3? Oh, it's a 3, isn't it? Yeah, so he's going to do grenade attack or concentrate fire, but he's nothing to attack. Like, he can't. We're not on the same card as him, and I want to say he does have something with him though, doesn't he? Does he? Squad. No, it's just got ammunition. He's got 6 ammunition. Yeah, see, a lead. If there was a leader around, there's a possible rifle grenade, which would possibly would have offered them the opportunity to carry out a grenade attack. But so what went on? Under fire, but not under cover. So he is going to do a concentrate fire attempt. Yeah, so he's going to do a concentrate fire attempt on there. Now that'll be the cover marker, won't it? So select either a stack of units under a cover marker or one random unit out of cover as a target. So yeah, that's pretty bad, isn't it? So if this was the enemy right now, if it was the enemy right now, and let's just say we did have somebody that wasn't under that cover marker, how would they choose between the two? Would that be a random choice as well then? Let's just say, right, we had these units under cover and we had another couple of units outside that went under cover. I guess it would randomise between the 3, because the ones out of cover would have to be randomised anyway. That would apply to us as well. We wouldn't get to choose. So I guess you would just randomise between the cover marker and the other units that went under cover for them. So I'm just going to leave that in there, just in case somebody wants to confirm that one. Or, you know, I started thinking at first, well, would they not go for the cover because there's like 2 units under there? Oh, hang on. He's exposed. Is there not something about being exposed? No, that's a sniper, isn't it? Now let's just double check. Let's look up some enemy rules for concentrate fire. Is there anything for that though? I'm not so sure there is. Right, hang on. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think there is anything to direct us there, so I think we would have to randomise between either the cover marker or individual units. You know, like I say, if we had 2 there, we would draw on a 3, And this would be a 1, this would be a 2, this would be a 3, and we'll see what we got, I think. I'm not seeing anything that says it should target the cover marker first, but I've not seen anything regarding enemy and concentrate fire decisions. So, am I missing the obvious there? Don't think so. Anyway, it doesn't matter in this situation, so hopefully we'll just leave that sitting there and maybe somebody might answer it. So he's going to attempt to concentrate fire on this cover marker. Now he's veteran, so it's normally a 2 card draw, but he's going to get a +1 for the veteran status. So looking for the crosshairs. I would rather not be seeing this, but there's 3 cards here, so here we go. Well, that's that. Let's hope we don't get any more. Oh. Right, well, fortunately there's only 2. I'm not so sure that jam does anything. But I don't think it counts for... Like, I don't think it's going to be a critical hit. And I think if we had that, and another card that didn't have that, I don't think that would count as a hit. However, I'm going to have to go and check on that one. Because I think it's only a jam result if it's a tripod machine gun or something, I want to say. Well, actually, I'm sitting at the page, right at the page, 7.12 jam, so let's go and have a look. Right, 7.12 jam, page 56. A weapons team or squad armed with a belt-fed machine gun, rocket launcher, or someone... Ooh, this will apply. It does, isn't it? Because he's armed with a belt-fed machine gun, isn't he? That's what the A rating is. So if a unit is... Oh, hang on. When attempting a ranged grenade attack or attempting to concentrate fire has experienced a serious weapon malfunction. If a unit is liable to jamming, drawing a jam card will override any success cards drawn for the attempt. Remove the unit from play and replace the steps with generic fire teams. Wow, okay. That kind of sounds like a result. Right, I need to just double check that he is liable to jamming. A weapons team or squad, we've got a squad, and it's armed, I think it's armed with a belt-fed machine gun. Or similar, he's got a similar weapon that has an A rating, isn't it? Yeah, there's something bothering me there. I'm not sure why, it seems quite clear, Grant, but... Well, I guess I want to make sure of this, rather than remove the squad and do all the fire team stuff. He's going to end up with 3 fire teams, which is interesting. I think it's also going to cause some issues with that grenade. I want to say the grenade might well turn into a grenade miss, which wouldn't be the worst. Well, right, hang on a sec. Let's see if I can just get confirmation about this. See, this is where I'm not so sure now. Rifles, carbines, assault rifles and magazine-fed light machine guns produce a small arms VOF. Units equipped with assault rifles may instead produce an automatic weapons VOF, but only at point-blank range. That's not helping me out. Because this is the one, this is machine guns. These are belt-fed machine guns that generally produce an automatic weapons. But that's not what we've got. But it did mention squad there, and that's what's kind of throwing me. What did it say in the mission about these squads? They're A-rated. Does it give me a... hang on. There are two types of German squads, SL and AL. So basically small arms raid and automatic weapons are 8 raid. Start mission 1 to 6, place all the squads and oh damn, come on, I don't like to be going asking questions. First thing I've done and I'm not sure. Where does it tell me about these squads? Do we have this in the new rulebook? I don't think there is anything about the breakdown of things, is there? Hang on. I've been trying to hunt for something. BGG, looking for jam. The only sort of thing I've just found there is, this was back in 2011, so a lot of years ago, and that was from Ricky again, saying that the jam result only applies to one-step weapon teams and not to 3-step squads. Yeah. A weapons team or squad. Yeah, I don't think this does apply here. It's just for the one step. Because what does that say? Fire teams. Where is it? If a unit is liable to jam and drawing a jam card will override any success, remove the unit from play and replace the steps with generic fire teams. Ah, well, that's saying steps there, so that tends to make you think that it's not just a one-step team. Like I say, that was many years ago, so I think I'm going to have to ask this question. Right. I went and asked a brief question then. Hopefully Andrew's not in his bed yet. Well, I don't know what he said, 9 hours, so it could be 9 hours that way or that. I wouldn't know. If it's 9 hours the other way, maybe not. Yeah, because I don't know. I thought at first, yes, when I read this, the weapons team or squad. But then is a weapons team and a weapons squad. See, they could be 1 and 2 step units. Like a weapons team is like a light machine gun. Where did we see? There was hang on. We had one, there was a German one. What was it again? Well, that's an H-rated thing. That's a 88mm. That I'm thinking about, a 2. Like, could that be a weapons squad? Classed as a weapons squad, team or squad? And whereas, a normal machine gun, like there. Like that's a weapons team, because that's a light machine gun. Yeah, and I think this would jam, and I think this would jam. So maybe that's a weapons team, because it's only 1 step, and that's a squad because it's more than 1 step. But then we're calling these squads the German 3-step squads, but they're not weapons squads, weapon teams. These are just squads from platoons, they're from a German platoon. So I get the feeling that maybe that's known. It's just maybe aimed at these things, and the heavy machine gun that's there. Well, it's got the A with a thing which I think would also jam, wouldn't it? Or maybe not. It doesn't sort of say armed with a belt-fed machine gun, but yeah, is that not what these are though? You know what? That goes back in there. Yeah, you know what? I'm not that sure. I'm not sure. Well, that's a bit annoying because like, that's probably going to stop me now from creating 2 parts tonight because I've had to stop right in the middle of this. Well, delay in trying to find that answer out to start with, and then how can I move on? Can I move on here all right? Well, either if the jam doesn't concentrate, fire, draw, oh, okay, hang on here. Yeah, it still cancels the concentrate fire. It says, no, a jam icon negates any successful draw if the unit is liable to jamming, but let's just consider it's not liable to jamming. It never indicates a successful attempt to concentrate fire, even if the unit in question is not liable to jamming. But hold on, because right, that doesn't indicate a success, but that, however, would have done still, wouldn't it? So I think that's what it's saying. I think if we're doing that by itself, and this unit wasn't liable to jamming, then it wouldn't be a successful concentrate fire. And if it is successful to jamming, then it cancels the concentrate fire out. Yeah, I think that's right, because it doesn't say it negates it there. It says it negates it there if the unit's liable to jamming, but it doesn't say it there if the unit's not liable to jamming, but it just doesn't consider that as a success. But we had the success with another one anyway. So, well, he's either 3 fire teams, which I don't think that's the case, or he has succeeded with a concentrate fire. So what I think I'm going to go for now is putting a concentrate fire on this cover marker here. Hopefully I can stall for a little bit of time to give a chance to get an answer to that, which would be nice. But meanwhile, can we move on? Yeah, because we've got potential contacts to come out of this before we get to the combat step. So we can probably just delay things a little bit and move on. Because that was the enemy activity check. And it's not changed the activity level. And even if, let's just consider that this isn't here and this is 3 fire teams, which, yeah, I can't see that being right. I can't see that being right. To be honest, that's probably worse for us. Having the 3A, because, well, they'd be at close range rather than the fire teams are at close range, aren't they? Yeah, but this is a nighttime mission anyway, so you can only see into the one card, the adjacent card. So then you'd have 3 of them separate. So I don't know if that helps us or not. And like I was saying about the grenade, I would think that the grenade would then become a grenade miss, because that gets removed and then the fire teams appear. So where, I can't say that the grenade's targeting any one of the 3 fire teams. If that is the result, I don't think it is. I don't think that is liable to jamming. I don't think so. We'll see. Right. That's enemy activity. Capture segment, retreat segment. There's none of that going on. AT combat vehicle movement. Right. No. Fire mission update segment. No. There's none of that going on either, is there? No. So potential contact. So we can carry on with this just now. That's not going to affect things. We just got to remember that, this is going to be occupied no matter what. It's going to either be occupied by that or 3 fire teams. So that's fine. So we've got a potential contact A here, and we need to look and see what that one is. Well, we know it's a B and a C, but we're going to have to reveal it anyway. There's no others that we're on, no. And it's a C, so that's maybe good for us. So, however, we're going to do the A first, because it goes in, we do it in alphabetical order. We're at engaged, so engaged for an A is a 5-card draw, okay? And then when it comes to, if we're still engaged, you can see a C is only going to be a 2-card draw. I think that's why I ended up going there Oh yeah, we must have infiltrated onto that card too, so that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd done that. I remember now. I'd done that in the general initiative, didn't I? I was kind of cursing myself, but I ended up, it worked out all right because I thought we infiltrated into here, so we didn't want to look for cover because it would have been worse for us. Yeah. Right, so the potential contact A there, we're going to draw 5 cards for that. Right, so 5 cards looking for contact. 4, one more. 5 cards looking for contact. That's a no. 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 Okay, well that's really good. That was the one I didn't want. Well, I'd rather not get either of them, to be honest, but so we get a result with that one. Yeah, because he was exposed. Yeah, right, so onto the contact C, and like I've just showed already, it's still at engaged. So this is only a 2-card draw because it's a C. So here we go. That's a no. One more card to come. Oh, it's a cover. And that's a no as well then. And we'll shuffle the deck. We've been quite lucky with our contacts, I have to say. I mean, it does. I was watching a wee bit of video footage today. What's the guy? Blue Tweezers. Fields of Fire 2. He's done a video playthrough. It looks like he must have had a glitch because I think he redone it. Must have corrected the mistake or something like that. I was just watching it just to Fields of Fire 2, and it was a Pellu mission. It looks quite cool actually, like your LVTs landing and whatever. You know, reminds me a bit obviously of D-Day at Pellu and well, any of the D-Day games where you're landing your units and whatever like that. Yeah, it was just something else to watch because I'd run out of my video footage to catch up on as well. So, was I going anywhere with that? Yeah, no, he drew. I just see him draw 21 cards and not find a contact. So, I seem to recall doing that myself. And one of my, was that not the very first playthrough, I think, but I ended up redoing it once I found I'd been making a major blunder. I think I had one something similar where it was about 20 odd cards not finding a contact. So there obviously is not that many of them. I mean, I dare say somebody's went through and worked out the numbers, but okay, so we're sitting sweet with the. Oh, that's now not going to allow me to stall any further though, is it? Because I'm going to have to go into combat now, haven't I? Okay. So, pin recovery, no, there's nothing pinned that's not under a VOF. Yeah, that's not under VOF. So combat effects, right? Well, you're gonna have to decide now, Grant. Oops, sorry. How many times am I gonna do that? Yeah, well, we've got this one to resolve, or the 3 of them there to resolve, and we've got this to resolve, which I think is going to get that concentrated fire as well, which is a bit of a bummer. However, nothing here or here, so that's good. Right, I'm going to pause for 5 minutes anyway, and I'll just double check. Maybe if we don't get an answer, I'm going to just say that it's not, and it's just a 3-step squad. I can't see that being affected. I think it's aimed at the machine guns, you know, like our light machine guns and heavy machine guns. I'm curious. It doesn't mention the A. It mentions the A, but it doesn't mention the A with the tripod. But then, are they not? Yeah, tripod mounted machine guns. An arrow over the tripod mounted machine guns benefit from a steadier aiming. I mean, I'm not sure if they. I think they are. In fact, did they not jam and then get destroyed or something. Something happens to them if they jam. Sure there is. I don't know, maybe you're thinking of something else, Grant. There's nothing talked about there under the tripod mounted machine guns. And when I look, some machine gun teams are made of 2 steps. So that's a machine gun team. See, well, what's a squad then? Why does it mention squad when you're talking about jam? A weapons team or squad? And then, to be honest, I'm not actually sure if a tripod mounted machine gun is liable to jam in either. I'm sure I've read something about that, but it's not jumping out at me here. Right, okay, I'm pausing for 5 minutes. Hang on, I'll be back shortly. Right, I did get a response from Billy, who's I think playing along the game just now as well. He said he had it recently with the 88. That's the one I just showed that has 2 steps, and he was wondering. He was under the impression it was only 1 step. It was only 1 step teams that were affected by it. And I would have went for that, going by the response. Okay, it was back in 2011 as well from Ricky back then, about him saying it was only 1 step. If it wasn't for the wording, remove the unit from play and replace the steps, plural, with generic fire teams. And it's because of that bit that makes me wonder. Because if it is just meant to be 1 step teams, squads, whatever they're called, then it's not going to be steps. It's going to be step with generic fire team. You know? So, unless the wording's, that tends to suggest it could be more than 1 step, is all I'm saying. Which, to be honest, I didn't mention that in my reply to Billy there just now. I should have maybe added that bit at the end, yeah. I've also sort of tried to add to a follow-up about the tripod mounted machine guns, if they're counted as well with us, because I'm not sure. I think that I'm sure I read something about them, something different about them, and it was worse. It was a worse case. It was worse than them just becoming fire teams. I think there was something worse happened, but then again, I can't sort of see it just there. Let's look in the wrong bit. Right, okay. Well, I want to get at least this one part done tonight. If I'm not going to get another part, maybe not, because I'm having to try and find out things. So let's get combat going, and we'll just have to stick with what we've got, right? So I like to do my guys first. As always, we've only got to resolve combat here and here. I do have 2 units. This guy's exposed. So it's only him that's exposed, and they're both under that cover. But the concentrate fire is also targeting the cover. But we do have to remember that the moon's going to come into this here, so we're going to get a +2 for the moon. So let me just count up what we're going to go with first. Well, we'll just go with the squad first. That's our choice. It doesn't really matter. We are getting +2 from the actual woods. That -1 doesn't apply there. So we get +2 for the moods, +2 for the moon. Okay. So that's a +4. Plus another +1 for being undercover. That's +5. And then the minuses are the weapons. The VOF is -1. He's also concentrated fire, and we're exposed. So that's a +1, I think, in total, isn't it? 2, 4, 5. 5, 4, and 4 against, isn't it? So we're sitting at a +1. And the good thing is the XO is going to be a +3 because he's not exposed. So it's a +1 for the platoon. But I mean, it's a full 3-step, squad. It's a full 3-step squad. So I'm kind of hoping for the best here. Right, give me 1 sec. I'll have another look just in case Andrew's at his bed and that he's heard me calling for an answer here. Because if this didn't happen, the concentrated fire would not be here. I'm pretty damn sure that does not jam. But I've said that before and I've been wrong. Right, we'll have one more look and then we'll just go for it. Right, okay, so nothing still. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with my feeling on it, and hopefully we've got it right. So +1 for the squad. Come on, be nice to me. It's a shuffled up fresh deck, so that could be good, that could be bad, I suppose. Right, on a +1. Oh, it's a miss. It's a good card. Yeah, I've got myself looking at the numbers at first. But at first I was thinking, right, is the big numbers better for this side? So I think the bigger the number there, the better it is for here. I don't think that has that effect there, but anyway, a +1 is a miss. I suppose just kind of thinking if that concentrate fire wasn't there, then it would still be a miss because it would be a +2, wouldn't it? Right, so that's a miss. Good. Right, the COXO, now he's going to be +3 because he's just got everything else but not the exposed. So with a +3, well, that's not a good card. See? Well, you got the squad, but the +3's a hit. Man. You got one good card, one bad card. Just double checking. Well, you counted it right, Grant. Just +4 would be a pin, but which would have been nicer. Well, that has got me thinking though, because if that concentrate fire isn't there, and it does affect. It obviously affects everything under the. Yeah, it was under the cover marker. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so you're right, +2, +4, +5, and then -1, -2. Yeah, it's +3, isn't it? Right. Hi all. Right, hopefully I'm cutting in at the right point here in the video. I had to cut things here and make a bit of a redo of things, which I'll put a comment saying that. This should be about the 37, 50-second mark I've got here. So hopefully should be where it cuts. Because, two main reasons. One, I found out that the squad would have actually been liable to the jam result and would have broke off into 3 fire teams. So I didn't do that one properly. Should have probably stuck with how I was reading that. That decided to go against that, and there you go. Took that call and got it wrong. And yeah, I mean, okay, I could have just carried on and thought, well, it was a bit of a, maybe not quite so clear, I don't know. To be honest, it probably is clear because it does say squads, and it does talk about steps, and I talked about all that, and I probably should have just stuck with that, and I've chose to override that, like I say, and look back on previous comments. However, Andrew gives some explanation as to how maybe the comments had came about, or why they were still there, and it's a shame these things are still there, because I don't think that was the designer's intention. That's what I think Andrew's about to say. I'll read the comment in a minute. The other reason I decided to redo it, now I'd done all of this part. Well, I'm saying that 37 minutes 50 seconds, so I was about 3/4 of the way probably through this part at the moment anyway. So I've cut out the next quarter of this, and I had started on part 11. But then I also noticed that I took into account the moon situation for when my guys got attacked, and then when it came for the German units, I did not consider the moon. So what I'm going to do now is, from now on, hopefully, whenever I'm resolving a card, I'm going to place that on the card. Whenever I'm resolving combat, because I think that's just so easy to forget. And the fact that your first two missions in the campaign are just in daylight plus 0, there's nothing to consider. And this one, well, like Colin said, to randomise it between patrols as well, so you're going to have a different number for each of the 3 patrols, assuming you go ahead and do them all. So I'm going to try and do that. So that was the other reason I thought, right, let's just take a cut there and let's just try and fix this. So what I did, like I say, I've cut in here at the time. So I resolved the combat against the XO. And this was wrong, because what you should have seen in the previous part was this here on the XO. And that would not have been the case, because have I got cards I can look at? No. I'm going to have to I'm going to shuffle the deck up as well, because I'm not quite sure where I am with that. So I'll shuffle the cards up. But what we had was, and you've just watched this previously, this squad getting a jam result, but also getting a concentrate, also getting the crosshairs on one of the other cards. So I decided that then, because it wasn't liable to jam in, it wasn't going to, the jam result was not going to nullify the actual crosshairs result. And I think that would have been right. So that's why I went ahead with the concentrate fire. And then when I found out now that it didn't apply, then this concentrate fire wouldn't be there, because the jam result does override the other success if it's liable to jamming. So that's what should have happened, and this saves my XO, because I've not got the card there, but the card that we drew for the XO, when I looked at it, in fact I think I talk about it as well, that if the result had been a jam result, that concentrated fire wouldn't have applied, that extra -1 wouldn't have applied. And hang on, that shouldn't be like that just now, I meant to change that. It should just be small arms at the moment. That's what's happening. It's just that I had moved things on a bit. I've just tried to reset things. I think this is right. I'm hoping there might be other things out of place, but I looked carefully and hopefully I didn't mean to change that. So the concentrated fire would not be here, and the result we got was a hit. However, if we take that -1 away, it actually made it a pin. So this would have been, so you might say, maybe that's why you're going back, Grant, to save your XO. Well, possibly. No, I want to do things right, and that would have been the situation. They wouldn't have had a successful concentrated fire. My XO would be pinned instead of removed. So I put his radio back, and he had the handheld ammunition, right. Now also I'm showing, the other thing that concerns me, I'm showing game turn 6. Now that's probably wrong as well. Right, let me double check that while it's on my mind. Yeah, so it's not quite game turn 6 yet. We're still on game turn 5. And so, although I'm in the combat phase here, I'm going to have to jump back to the enemy activity to sort that now. So that's what should have happened to my unit. And like I say, I then did not, that's where I cut the video, when I was just about to resolve the attack on that unit, because that's not just going to be a squad, a 3-step squad, it's now going to be 3 fire teams. And I'm not so sure that's any better for us, but and I actually got a reasonably decent result out the combat, so I'm not also sure. Well, I think I speak about it at the time when I say that I think this grenade's going to go away. I'm going to just assume this one, because the actual target of the grenade is going away, the whole squad's going away, and it's going to be replaced by 3 fire teams, then I don't think I can target the grenade on any one of the fire teams. I wouldn't know how to you know, the only way I can think of resolving that is the grenade goes away and becomes a grenade miss instead. Because that's what would happen if the unit disappeared, and we found that one out late in an earlier part where I kind of blundered. Actually, still never I actually went back to check that one because I had no idea where it was, to be honest. Right, let's see. First of all, well, the comment I've got, well, that's written in the header. It's just all what I've talked about there. Saying that the EXO would end up pinned, German squad will now be 3 fire teams and we'll take it from there. That's how I finished my comment in there. But basically starting with the fact that it's a blunder because of the jam. So, yeah. Again, if I'd been patient enough and waited on Andrew getting out of his bed, I would have got this answer from him. But yeah, these are the things. What can you do? Do you wait on the answer, or you know? I'm sort of finding myself having lots of questions to ask. I'm not saying that they're not in the rule book though, because the majority of things that have come up, they have been in the rule book, but I'm just looking for sort of just that little bit extra security and the confirmation of it, you know. And this one, like I said, if I'd read it, it did talk about squads. In fact, I'll get that. I don't need my phase marker now because we've moved on from that. I'll get that jam bit back up while we're looking at this. So, anyway, Andrew's response was the A-rated squads actually do jam. Yes. Germans and NVA replace them with 3 fire teams as they try to work out their new structure. So that's what we're going to do. So that's going to come away, right? Let me get a wee bit closer because I'm going to have to stretch up here a bit. So that's going to come away, which tells me that that's going to go into a grenade mass. That feels like the right thing to do. However, who knows, you know? And these all break down into 3 fire teams. Now I'm going to have to track the ammo for these as well. Now they would not have fired at this point yet anyway. So okay, so we've got, I'm going to call this one left, right, and bottom, okay? Because I don't know how else you decide which one's what. It's maybe not such a big deal. So the squad had 6 ammo. So each one of the teams, fire teams, is going to have 2 ammo each. That's pretty sure that's how that works. So well, let me just update that again while it's in my mind. Right, okay, that's me updating my log. I've got 3 fire teams, which are green. They've all got 2 ammunition each. Right, let's carry on what Andrew says here. He says, the only thing that seems like it might jam, but doesn't, and I think it's noted in an exception in the rules, are US Vietnam grenade launcher armed squads. Yeah, I did read that as well. In fact, there it is there. Page 54, 7.7. Grenade launchers have a grenade view left, right, and yeah, the very last sentence. Such squads are not affected by jam results. But any other squads, it seems, are. So there we go. Yeah, and he's got down the bottom here in brackets. He says, I think this is regarding the comments that I came across from the past. I mean, well in the past, like 2011, I think it was, wasn't it? I said, I found during the quest to clarify stuff that a fair amount of previous clarifications that directly contradict the rules are actually not what Ben intended. For the most part, the second edition rules are not outright wrong, just missing stuff. Well, that statement there at the end is the second edition rules, pretty much in a nutshell, isn't it? It's like, just, they're not wrong, they're just missing things. So, and then he follows up another comment after that. 2-step weapon teams jam 2. So this was when Billy brought up the 88. Well, I think I talked about that 88 as well, and it's got 2 steps. So they'll jam 2. It says the term wasn't defined when Field of Fire 1 came out, and the 88 was a bit of an anomaly that you had to figure out for yourself. And then also my follow-up question regarding the tripod mounting ones jammed to having a tripod or not doesn't make it not a weapons team. So yeah, fair enough. So that was there as well, even though it says, you know, it's just sometimes the rules. But I mean, the guys have had to fix the rule book to, you know, quite a bit. So, but I mean, you would need to completely rewrite the rulebook to sort of iron out some of these things, I think. And that might sound like I'm having a go, and I'm not. All I guess I'm trying to say is here, he's right though. A weapons team is a tripod-mounted machine gun, so that's fine. It's just, I guess, when you come at a similar weapon that has AG or H VOF, and then you're wondering about the A with the arrow being a tripod-mounted machine gun, and maybe I suppose that's what I started thinking there. But yes, it is a weapons team, so it's still liable to jam. So fair enough. It's looking at these things and just saying to yourself, right, does a tripod-mounted machine gun be affected by this jam result? And you read the rule and you look at it and you say, yeah, I think so, but because, you know, I suppose I wasn't really thinking, well, it is a weapons team, and Andrew's cleared that. But I mean, it is a weapons team. And the original one about the 3-step squad, well, I mean, it says it there. Squad armed with a belt-fed machine gun, or even a similar weapon that has an A rated. Well, it is A rated. It's a squad. It's A rated. It's there. The information is there. You know, I think you also, I also get frightened by the game's rules. I get frightened by them because of the previous rulebook, I suppose. And I maybe need to start really just reading what it's saying carefully, and just putting that into play. Okay, so Billy was came back with the 88's jam, ? He said, sorry for misleading you, Grant. No, not at all, Billy. I wasn't 100% sure as well. Even when you gave me your answer, what your thought was, I still wasn't that sure. I did go with it. Well, I didn't go with your answer, actually, Billy. I took that on board, but I decided myself that, yeah, it probably was right, and there you go, it wasn't. So, so that was that cleared up. Okay, right. So just 2 or 3 more comments that Andrew made. Nothing big. Just confirming a few things. When I talked about, he says about getting back to the staging area, and I said, yeah, I think he actually means row 1 here. And yeah, he says, sure, row 1, wherever it says you need to get back to in the mission book. I was just talking about patrols in general. He also carries on, I mean, if you're resigned to a fail, you don't really need to get back anywhere, but for the sake of role-playing, getting everyone safely back to row 1 would be a good aim. So, no real comment about the fact I went through everything. I cycled through all the cards and done all that. I think I still need to see myself doing that unless there's instructions somewhere that allow you to do that. And maybe there is in the 3rd edition mission books, but we're going to have to wait a bit longer to get them. Secured as occupied, he says, yes, 2nd edition EXP chart. Secured as occupied. Yeah, he just says it's kind of nonsense, the chart on the 2nd edition, but secured as occupied. So we're right here. I think there are no replacements until the campaign specified replacements, which is 6 at the end of each mission in Normandy. Casualty step is gone until the next mission. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that what he's meaning there, that we will get 6 replacements, but it won't be until the end of the mission, and then that's when we will be able to put this squad back together again. Yeah. And I think that was it. Oh no, there's one more. Reset the PC markers. Use all the combat patrol instructions from the 3rd edition mission book that I sent you, BGG. Yeah, he sent me. That must have been what he quoted from the actual mission book. The instructions on that question I asked. Which I think I've been following. Okay. Yeah, I think it was because in the actual resetting of the mission, it says do not replace the PC markers. However, in the combat patrol section of the rulebook, it does say to do that. So it's fine. You're doing that, and I've done that. That's fine. Right. So all good. So let's see if we can now carry on from this position. Right. So we had resolved our combat now because the squad never took a hit, and that wouldn't have been modified, like because of the extra -1 that we're now not getting. That wouldn't have had any change to the squad. It did have the change to the actual XO. Unfortunately, he's still around, but he's pinned. So pinned under the cover marker. So that's fine. And then now we need to resolve the combat on these guys. Oh, hang on. That means they would have fired. Yeah, but I'm not at the step to change the ammo yet anyway, Grant. That's fine. I mean, all these must fire though, eh? Yeah, I said that before. Well, although that might have been a bit that I've recorded that you didn't see. Yeah, because all of them have got to spend if they track ammunition, they're all firing, so. However, we don't know what's going to happen to them. We're now going to find out. So we decided a grenade mass. We've got a crossfire because we've got fire coming from both sides. And we've got small arms. That's the best we've got. The squad. And then this is a squad. This is 1, 2. I had to change him about. But that's fine because he had made a move. But this is when I found I needed to rewind a little bit. Right, and I'm going to shuffle up the deck because I'm not sure where that is at all. Oh, and I tell you what else I'm going to do. Let's ponk that on there. Because I took that into account for my guys, and then, well, you don't see it, but when I done the combat for the squad, was it for the squad? No, I don't think it was that combat. I think it was the one after. I can't remember anyway. I forgot about it. And then that turned out into a bit of a mess, obviously. So yeah, I'm going to move that up and put it on the card. So what have we got for the squad? Well, we'll do them. Yeah, this doesn't matter. You don't need to randomize this. Well, I don't think I've ever bothered randomizing between the combat, giving the combat out. So I'm not going to start doing that now. I suppose. I mean, they're all the same. The 3 of them are 3 fire teams. But I suppose if you had, yeah, but it's still all random, isn't it? It's still all random, and it doesn't matter which one gets targeted first. Okay, so I'm not going to start randomizing that way. So I will just go top left, then right, then bottom. So the one on the left is nothing for the open fields, but +2 for the moon. And then we've got a -1 for the grenade, a -1 for the crossfire, and 0 for the small arms. So +2 -2 is a 0. So that is going to be the result for all 3 of them. Right, are you sure you're okay now, Grant? I think so. Yeah, because I resolved the combat on that guy. That's the only other guy. There's no other fire apart from that. Right, so the one on the left, on a 0, we get a pin. So he's pinned. So that's a decent start for a 0. I can find the marker. So he's pinned. Right, and then the one on the right, on a 0. That's a hit. Okay. So remember, the 5 teams are green, so we're drawing to see what happens to him. Green. He's an assault team. Yeah, I remember I was saying, can you ever get an A result? And well, there you go. There's proof that you can. To be honest, and I did come across it. I was watching some other video footage, and the guy drew an A result, and I was like, oh, there you go, you can get it. Right, that's so that's that guy. He's turning into an assault team then. Okay, well, actually just flip him over. But that is still classed as a hit. Well, actually, that's better for us because he's point blank range. Now he won't track ammo. So hang on, both of these are pinned up to now. We've got to resolve the other one, but the one on the right now. So the one I had marked on the right is not there anymore for ammunition purposes. Now I don't know what happens to his 2 ammo then. Does he distribute it to the other 2 fire teams? I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say that it's got to be when, well, mind you, if he was tracking ammo, I don't know. But I actually started wondering going in, did they drop the ammo in the card? I actually went into this in the video that you're now not going to see, and came to the conclusion that they might drop ammo, but I'm thinking afterwards I thought, well, none of us, when our guys go away, they don't leave the ammo behind, you know. I'm going to say that 2 ammo just disappears, and I'm certainly not, if Andrew comes back and tells me, no, you should distribute it between the other 2, I'm not going to go and rewind that, but obviously if he does confirm it, then we know for the future. Right, let's draw for the last fire team on a 0 then as well. And we got a pin for him as well, so that was pretty decent. No, I mean, could have been better, I suppose, but it could have been worse. So yeah, so I think that's what should have happened. Okay, so that's our combat out of the way. Let's just see where we all are. Yeah, I got resolved. That's fine. Combat effects. Right. So ammo. So yeah, I've got to say that both fire teams spend a point ammo, so they're both down to 1. Or should I believe? Well, to be honest, the other one would have spent a point ammo as well, but he's now an assault team. But I think I'm just going to leave them with 1 point ammo left each, because, well, best case scenario, because he would have spent a point of ammo as well, because he's still firing. So best case scenario, one of the 5 teams has got 2, one of them's got 1, but I'm not going to go with that. I'm just going to go with they've got 1 each. And then what about our guys? Nothing. We didn't spend anything. Yeah, it was a rifle grenade, wasn't it? Yeah, and that's away. Right. Okay. Good. Right. Clean up phase. Remove pyrotechnics. Well, grenade mass is coming away. Expose markers. There's one there. I think that might be all. The guy's pinned. Yeah, I think that's all. So I'll take our moon back now as well, but I'm going to start doing that, like I say. Hopefully I'm going to start doing it. Might forget, but evacuate casualties. Enemies find the cards without valid target shift ceasefire. Well, no, they've still got valid targets. However, adjust VOF, PDF, and activity level as well. They're still firing, but they're not firing automatic weapons at the moment. They're firing with all pinned. So let me get all pin marker. We're still firing back with small arms. We've still got a crossfire. So all good there. Okay, right, that's that. That's it. Hopefully it's sorted. I'll move the game turn now on to Sax, and we can start afresh from there, and get going again. Okay. Right, okay, well, I'm just going to attach this on to the bit that I'd cut in there, and that should probably take it to just a wee bit over an hour, I think. Yeah, it will be over an hour, so I'll cut this here, and I'll get back with part 11 pretty soon. Okay, cheers.